And we're back. 5:41 is the time, and weather is of prime interest right now. We've got the possibility of some thunder showers, light possibility, but it's still there. Drew's following it. Hey, Drew.
Hey there, James. Yes, indeed, a very light possibility. That system that's been hanging off offshore for a few days now has been working its way in. Be aware of that, but everything will be gone by about noon today. James?
All right, Drew, thank you very much. A new story for you this morning now. A Fresno-based beef company is recalling hundreds of thousands of pounds of ground beef products because of concerns it may be linked to an outbreak of salmonella. The USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service says Beef Packers, Inc. is recalling more than 825,000 pounds of ground beef produced between June 5th and June 23rd. Now, the recall announced earlier this morning says that the beef products bear the establishment number establishment, and again 31913, and we'll get that on our website at some point this morning so you can take a look at that. But in any case, the beef was distributed to retail centers in Arizona and California, along with Colorado and Utah. The USDA says because the beef was repackaged under different retail names, consumers should check with the store they bought the beef from to determine if they've purchased any of this recalled beef. All right, at 5:44, another story for you from around the Bay this morning in Oakland. There's a call out today for area businesses to close their doors in opposition to the city's recent increase in parking fees and enforcement hours. The owner of the Grand Lake Theater is leading the charge. Alan McCann, I should say, says the business has gone down by 50% since the new parking policies went into effect back on July 1st. He also plans to circulate a petition to recall city council members if they don't reverse the new parking policies. And police in San Jose say a man on his way to a termination hearing had a loaded gun with him. 50-year-old Guadalupe Miranda worked as a mechanic at California Waste Solutions for 30 years before he was let go. His son actually is who called the company yesterday to warn them that his father was headed to a meeting with them and brought a gun with him and bullets. Company officials then called police. Officers managed to stop Miranda about a half mile from the business. Police did find that loaded gun in his boot. All right, at 5:45, let's get over to the traffic center again. Say good morning to George Rask. Hey, George.
Good morning, James. We're looking at a quiet ride so far this morning. Haven't seen anything close to a hot spot or even this morning. Over my shoulder, you see the Bay Bridge. It's a pretty good trip, isn't it? Heading westbound to and across the upper deck. James?
All right, George, thank you very much. Take a look here. This was the show in the sky that we saw here yesterday. All those skydivers falling down to Pier 39 at the Justin Herman Plaza in San Francisco. It was all to promote a new smartphone that went on sale to compete with the iPhone. This is an image of it. It's called the MyTouch, and it's the first cell phone now to run Google's mobile platform, Android. And tech reporter Gabriel Slate gives us a closer look now at this new device.
In my right hand is the new MyTouch Google smartphone, in the left an iPhone. The first thing I noticed about the MyTouch is that it's lighter and smaller than the iPhone. It can do almost everything the iPhone can. It's touchscreen, it has the web, a camera that can take pictures and video. Google has an app store that features thousands of fun and useful apps you can download. It's a lot like the iPhone, but Google style. Right on the front of the screen is a box to search Google. Kinda cool. And in the Home app screen, there's buttons you can tap to quick link you to Google products like YouTube, Google Maps, and Gmail. If you use a lot of Google stuff, like their web search, their maps, if you use Gmail for email, then this could be a great phone for you because it's all integrated inside it. It's like a Google-fied iPhone, and it's smaller. The touchscreen worked great for me, and personally, I use Gmail for email, so it was really easy to access email. The MyTouch runs on the T-Mobile network. It costs $200 with a 2-year contract. Gabe Slate, KRON 4 News.
All right, 5:48 is the time. We've got to take another break, but we'll be right back, so stay with us. Let's go outside, give you another live look. Hey, look at that. City of San Francisco here, and we can finally make out the sky now that it's brightened up enough. A lot of clouds out there, and the possibility of a raindrop or two for folks. We'll tell you when and where coming up in just a moment. And welcome back. 5:52 is the time. Again, a quick look here at your 7-day forecast. Well, probably the most exciting thing you're going to see on here is going to happen today. We've got chilly temperatures for a lot of folks, probably the coldest day of the week ahead, and you can see that 20% chance now of a sprinkle or two and maybe even some lightning in the neighborhoods in the North Bay and in San Francisco, so we'll keep our eye on that. And after today, though, things warm up a tad. We get back up into the upper 80s, low 90s by the weekend for folks inland. Low 70s for people around the Bay, and along the coast you're dealing with temperatures in the low to mid 60s for the better part of the next 7 days. Still cooler than we ought to be here for the beginning of August. We'll have a full check of weather coming up in a moment. Here's a look at traffic, though. A couple of bridges to show you. We'll begin with the San Mateo Bridge here. Highway 92 across the bay. Traffic moving just fine right now. No major problems being reported by the CHP. And here's a shot of 80 westbound here towards the Bay Bridge approach. The toll gates moving fine. No metering lights to report at the moment, and you're traveling across the span without any problems, as you are too at the Golden Gate Bridge. Traffic coming in from the North Bay moving through the Golden Gate Bridge without any problems into San Francisco, so it's a smooth ride in both directions on north and southbound 101. All right, in light of recent crashes here, now the Muni managers say that it's working to make sure their drivers are following the rules. Well, so are we here at KRON 4. In fact, Stanley Roberts went out to see how drivers are doing.
I'm riding on Muni's 14 bus, a line that runs up and down Mission Street, a line that is sometimes covered with graffiti inside and out. My normal job is to look for people behaving badly. I drive around the bay and show you what I find. With back-to-back Muni accidents in San Francisco, I went looking for any bad habits related to Muni bus drivers. I looked for drivers on cell phones, even though if caught, drivers could face a 30-day suspension without pay. I looked for drivers running red lights over at Geneva and Mission, but every driver on this day did not. I looked for drivers not pulling all the way over to the curb, which is a requirement of all drivers. Most were, except this one. And I looked for overly chatty bus drivers who were paying more attention to their conversation than to the road. On this day, I'm happy to report that most of the Muni drivers I observed were behaving nicely. So maybe Muni's safety speech hit a nerve with the drivers, or maybe it's just the calm before the storm. Whatever it is, I can promise you this. I will continue to monitor Muni drivers and let you know of my findings. Muni officials say if you see a driver not following the rules, you should give them a call. I placed a link on KRON4.com. In San Francisco, Stanley Roberts, KRON 4 News.
All right, wow, look at this. Yeah, today marks the 64th anniversary of the world's first atomic bomb attack during World War II. That was, of course, back on August 6, 1945. That's when an American bomber dropped the bomb on Hiroshima in Japan, killing an estimated 140,000 people. And just look at some of the scenes here of what was left in the wake of that bomb dropping. And now the mayor of Hiroshima is urging global leaders now to back President Obama's call to abolish nuclear weapons. It was back in April that Obama declared his goal of ridding the world of nuclear weapons, and Hiroshima's mayor welcomed that comment and said the world should eliminate all nuclear weapons by the year 2020. All right, at 5:55, again, we'll be back with more in just a minute, including the latest on our top stories. Let's go down the list and tell you again what we're working on. First off, the BART contract vote. It begins today. BART's largest union will begin casting votes on whether or not to accept that deal that was reached between BART managers and union leaders, union negotiators in any case. We'll have more on that story in a moment. Also, cash for clunkers may be getting the cash it needs to keep on going. Today, the Senate is set to take up a vote on that. We'll break it down for you. And Judge Sonia Sotomayor, her vote on her confirmation hearing there in the Senate, whether or not she'll be the next Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, will happen this afternoon. She's got a pretty good shot at it, but we'll take a closer look at the story coming up in just a minute. And don't forget, it is Lotto Thursday today, and there's the winning word that you need. It is payday. Payday. Head to our website, type that in, and you're entered in the lottery, or in the jackpot, or in the drawing, I should say, to get lottery tickets for the jackpot, which right now is estimated at $8 million. And of course, you can watch those numbers drawn live every Wednesday and Saturday night at 8 p.m. right here on KRON 4.